So here we have the 2015 Cannondale Synapse Ultegra disc. Now, the standard Synapse is our reigning 2014 Bike of the Year, and that bike still today would place very, very highly in the competition. It's such a good bike. We described it as one of the greatest sportive frame sets ever made. This is effectively that same frame set, but they've incorporated discs into it. Cannondale have put together some really nice engineering solutions on this frame set to incorporate the discs. One of the downsides of running a disc bike is you need a wider spacing on the rear hub. It needs to go up to 135 from 130, and that effectively will alter the chain line. So Shimano recommend that your chainstays should be extended to 420. Whereas on the Synapse, because when they originally designed the bike with the power pyramid seat tube, they came up with a new bottom bracket standard called BB30A, which is slightly wider than BB30. Effectively, that's moving your cranks outboard a little bit, which can maintain a much nicer chain line when you're running 135. Because that's all moved out, it's allowed them to shorten the chainstays and still maintain that chain line. So this bike has got 410 chainstays, which is exactly the same as the standard model. So this Synapse is really nicely equipped for the money. You've got predominantly Ultegra gearing paired with the 785 hydraulic brakes, which are absolutely excellent. We really can't fault them at all, especially when they're being run with the ice rotors that Shimano recommend. And it's got a really friendly, sportive kind of gearing spread on it. So you've got a 50-34 on the front with an 11-32 on the back. Now a 34-32, you know, that's hell of a bailout gear. If you're struggling up and out, it's really nice just to know that there's that one in reserve. The only deviation from Ultegra actually on this bike is Cannondale have used their own chain set, the SI. This is actually a cheaper version of their hyper expensive Superlight SI SL2 and comes with a one-piece beautifully CNC'd spider ring. This one just reverts to just using standard FSA rings. And there's nothing wrong with that. The shifting through these FSA rings is the equal of Shimano. And anybody that would consider this SI chain set to be a downgrade over Ultegra, which was probably the perception, you know, it's worth remembering that this one's 80 grams lighter than Ultegra. All of that's hanging on Mavic's brand new Axiom 1 disc wheel set. Now this is, you know, a budget wheel set, a entry-level wheel set as far as Mavic concerned on the disc side, but we've been really impressed with them. Unlike Mavic's traditional brake rims, with the Axiom 1s, they've actually gone to a wider profile. It's something we've been asking Mavic to do for a long time, and it's great to finally see it. You've got typical Mavic build quality, and we know they last and last. One day you'd want to upgrade, you'd want to get a little bit lighter, but straight out of the box, you know, don't change anything. We're also impressed with the finishing components on this bike. We've got Cannondale's own compact drop bar, which is really nice. Having this nice shallow drop, but it's well shaped. Even if you've got big hands, you can still get down in the drops. Because it's compact, you just tend to spend more time getting down in there and push that a little bit harder. When you come to the back end, we've got their seat post that they designed specifically for this bike, which is super narrow at 25.4mm, much slimmer than anything else that's on the market. That's there because it induces that little bit more flex, making the back end that much more comfortable. And of course it's topped with one of Fabric's new saddles, who are probably one of the most exciting saddle companies to arrive on the market in many years. So when we're talking about the way this bike handles and the way it rides, it's a really fantastic blend of real smoothness, real comfort, but it's still got enough agility and enough kind of nimbleness that you'll really enjoy just, you know, duking it out and having a bit of a race with your mates, pushing yourself fast downhill, throwing it into corners. The bike always feels that it's with you. You're never fighting against it. It's a really lovely thing just to get out and ride. And if you're the sort of guy that just enjoys, you know, big challenge rides, you know, Sporties, Gran Fondos, whatever, you'd be hard pitched to find a better bike on the market than this. We can't stress enough how much better this bike feels because it's got these disc brakes. This is one of the reasons that this 2015 Bike of the Year competition has been really tough. So as you can see, we really do like this bike. You know, in fact, it goes so far as to say we absolutely love it. There's one little tiny niggle, and it would be great if Cannondale could address this. It's such a small thing, but it's such an annoying thing, and that's this ridiculous top cap. This top cap is over 30mm tall. It doesn't separate, it doesn't have anything. So if you want to get that lower position and slam it, it means you've got to go out and buy some spacers. So please, Cannondale, just sort that out.